Now we're
It is
running.
now.
Okay. Just now start.
Okay, my name's Mike Garber, and we're going to be putting together a Century 21 post and sign. And the two tools that you need, it's about the only two tools you need, is a 7/16 wrench and a 7/16 socket wrench. And here are some of the components that we'll be using. These hold the name rider, and these are the nuts. These two nuts go with this, and this nut goes with the bolt that's going to go through the sign that you're going to see here in a minute. We use, out of the packet that it comes with, we use the smaller lock washer, not the larger lock washer, but the smaller lock washers and the smaller nuts. And these are the sign hangers that we use. I think these are called oval hooks. We do not use the S hooks or these. These tend to come off in a high windstorm. Okay, so we start by first putting together the name rider holders, and we're going to do this bolt right here will go through here, and on the upper side, and then this will go on here, and then you put a lock washer and a nut. You really don't even have to have a wrench for this, because you don't want to screw this too tight, because it will collapse this thin aluminum here. So you can just about do it by hand, maybe a little tighter than hand, to where this nut bottoms out against the washer. Let's use this one. And that's plenty tight enough. Okay, and straighten that. Then we'll do the next one. Feed that through. Holder, then the lock washer, then the nut. And just lightly tighten this. You don't want to ratchet it down, because it will start to bend. Plenty tight enough. Okay, then we'll bring this over here. Just like putting a piece to a puzzle. That goes on there. And we have this lock washer and the nut. And it really doesn't matter which side you put it from. Fell back out on me, didn't it? There we go. Grab that. And again, hold this nut on this back side. This is just tightened tight enough to where you can actually see it starting to mash it in there, so that's plenty. So that pretty much has the sign assembled fully, the post assembled fully. These are the keepers on it. You have any questions, Jeff?
Well, Mike, I was going to make a recommendation. I found that if I put those on the sign first, that it usually goes better. It's harder to put the sign on in one way, but it's if you try to put the sign on after you put those on the post,
You're right.
it
You're
just
absolutely right.
it's a bear.
Okay, so basically those will just go on just like that. And if you have the post standing up, by this time when you're out putting it on the property, it's a lot easier to get on.
It sure is.
But I kind of position them like this where they're in this particular situation. And then it clips right over that. The assembled post and sign, and the name rider is put on really easily. I'm going to back these thumb screws out. Just enough to get the name rider in there. And these thumb screws are just snug. You just tighten them just barely snug. They're just made to hold it in the wind. And if you tighten them too much, then you break out this part because it's just plastic.
Yeah.
And that's the fully assembled sign. Now we have two types of stakes now. This one right here is the one that typically comes with it. And this one will need to be driven into the ground. And then once it's driven into the ground, then you will slide the post over it and bolt it on. It has a lock washer and a wing nut that goes on it, each one of those studs, but it actually, when you slide the post on it, it will go like this right here. And I'm gonna have to have another wing nut. I think I got it over here in the package. Thought I had it laid out. I haven't tried these stakes since we got these. These are a different design than anything we've had before, but they look pretty good, the ones that came with it. So there's the finished sign completely. You would want to drive this stake all the way in the ground until this flat part hit the ground so that it doesn't rock back and forth and the wind hit it. Now, I'm going to take this stake off and show the other type of stake. I think I'm going to take it off. For some reason, it got pretty tight on me right there, where I can't actually get it off with my fingers. That's really strange that it got really tight on me.
You don't know your own strength.
Evidently not. There we go. Okay. I think these studs are not threaded really good, and they're just tight on the thread. But if you, this one takes a little bit more time to assemble, and you got to remember to get the lock washers and the wing nuts to take with you to the property. But this one we have made at a local sign shop, and you just drive this into the ground all the way up to this flange right here, and that way it keeps it from rocking back and forth and the wind making the sign lean. but you drive it in, you hit this part, and you drive it in. Don't hit this part because these will knock off. But once you do that, then the post will literally slide right on here, and you don't even have to put any bolts or washers in it. Anything you want to add, Jeff?
It's a fast way to get your sign on the property.
Okay, it's a cut.